Hello guys, this is going to be our first video. Everybody calls me Fatman. This is my buddy Aaron, and the cameraman's my son Robert. What we're going to do, what we're going to be doing is we're going to make a Vise today, and we thought it'd be pretty neat. We just figured we'd share it with you how we do it and what it looks like.
We're going to do this. It's raining here, so kind of overlook the water if it gets on the camera. All we're going to do is use a few materials that we have laying around. I got an old 4x4 that's just scrap laying here. We're not doing anything with it. We're going to take it inside the shop. We're going to cut it down to about 5 foot. We'll cut a few blocks off the end of it, and then we'll go from there. See you in a few minutes.
4x4 down to about 5 foot. We ran it across the sanding wheel here real quick, just so it'd be a little bit smooth. We wouldn't have any splinters getting our hands. We cut us 2 blocks off the edge. All we're going to do is take and bore us a hole down in the center to hold a scrap piece of rod that we've got laying around out in the yard. Let us bore the holes and we'll be right back. Okay, what we're doing now is we're taking our pieces that we cut off the end of the 4x4 and we're boring a hole down through it where we're going to put us a piece of steel rod that's going to hold this on our bench top. Roll it in the wall there. Okay. What we have now is we have our 2 holes, and what we're going to do is we're going to put our piece of steel in here. Okay, stop it.
I'm going with it.
Okay, what we're doing now is we just had an old scrap piece of rod laying around, and this is what we're going to cut off. 2 pieces about 8 inches long to put up in our end piece. And we'll have about 4 inches that's going to stick out and go through our 4x4. And just to save time, we're going to stop right here. It's going to take about 5 minutes for them to cut these pieces. So we'll see you.
We've already cut our pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the wire brush and the grinding wheel. I'm going to grind them down so there's no sharp edges on the side, and then I'm going to use the wire brush to clean them off so they look clean. And so I guess we'll get back to y'all in a few minutes after I get done cleaning.
Alright, get the wire brush there.
Want to remind everybody to always wear your safety goggles and safety first, because when you're around any type of machinery you can get hurt. This wire brush will hurt you if you run your hand across it, so always be careful when you're using the tools and always wear your safety goggles.
Okay guys, Aaron's now got our holes drilled in our blocks. He's got both of our steel rods cut off the old rusty tamping rod that we had out that was just laying out in the yard. What we're going to do now is we're going to insert these, and so that we don't burr them up on the ends, we're going to use a piece of wood to tap this down. And hopefully these are going to fit real snug in here. Looks good. Just pull on it. It's getting snug. Oh, that looks good. Alright. Second one. Feel good. Okay, those are pretty snug. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 5-inch piece of stock that we have here. 5-foot piece of stock. And we're going to take and we're going to bore holes. And I think we're going to do every 12 inches. And what we'll end up doing is these holes will be slightly larger than these, so that we'll be able to drop this will be our stationary block for our vise. They'll drop down in the block for our stock to hold the back of our piece of wood or whatever we're carving on or working on at the time. Now, like I said, guys, we're going to take and we're going to mark our 5-foot piece of stock here on 12-inch centers. This is going to give us 4 holes that we can work from after the vise is completed. we're ready to drill this piece of stock. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and get these holes bored in our piece of stock here. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're ready to go back and start. Okay guys, we're back. We've got our, me and Aaron have our holes bored in our 5-foot piece of stock here. And what we did is we did 4 holes, and we did them just slightly larger than what this piece of steel was. So far now, we've only used a scrap 4x4 that was just laying around the yard, an old tamping post, just any old piece of steel rod will work. And so far, it's free. It's been no expense whatsoever. Now, what this will do is fit down in these holes and work as our backstop for whatever piece of wood that you're working on. Alright. Now, what we're going to do next is we've got another old 4x4 outside. It's another old piece of scrap. Because the end of this one, I'm going to say it's a little bit rough. I don't really want to use it. But what we're going to end up doing is we're going to cut another piece to go down here on the end. We're going to put us a piece of scrap 4x4 block right here. That may be what we use this for, because it's not going to be good for much of anything else. So it'll be a brace. We're going to put a 4x4 block here, and we're going to bring this up 6 inches high, so it's the same height as this piece here. And what we're going to do is we're going to bore 1 hole through this, and we're going to put us a nut on each side and run a piece of threaded rod through here. And then we're going to make us a small block plate to go in front of that so that we don't damage whatever we're putting in our vise. And we'll be back in just a little bit. Okay guys, we're back. What we're going to do is, Aaron's finishing up with boring our holes, so we're just going to go on over and watch Aaron finish up here real quick. What he's doing is we're going to put this together with lag bolts. As we put this together with lag bolts, okay, now, Aaron's got the last for holes countersunk. We're going to put it together with lag bolts, but what we had to do is, since the 4x4s are so thick, we wanted to take and countersink the hole so we'd be able to get our lag up into our 4x4 where it would get a good bite on the wood. Because when we start putting pressure on this, we don't want it to pull apart. We want it to hold together and be solid. Okay. Alright, Aaron, I guess we're ready for, let's do our block first.